Hey, Matt 2 crew. It is week 6, and I wanted to get you started with a little intro for the week as to what activities you're going to be completing. As a reminder to you, your activities from last week were due on May 26th at 7:59 a.m., and then this week's activities will be due June 1st. It's hard to believe that we're almost to June and the end of the school year here. But for this week, I have limited the number of activities since it was a shorter week together. And so we have three things that I want to go over with you. And the first one is a discussion board called Teach Us Woodworking. And what this is it's an opportunity for you to go out and explore a technique or a skill related to woodworking that we did not cover in this course. And so the hope is that you can maybe apply this to your final project idea. Some of you have been, doing an awesome job with your project plans that you're submitting, and so we're going to continue with that this week. So with the Teach Us Woodworking discussion board, I provided an example of what that might look like. The example I provided is called Lichtenberg effects, and so this is actually a technique where you send electricity through a piece of wood. It's a pretty neat skill or technique. Obviously, it's something that I typically like to show you guys in class. Unfortunately, due to our teaching right now, it's all online. I'm not able to do that, but I thought it would be an opportunity for you to at least see what this looks like. And so, I provided a video of what that might look like. Now you're going to use the discussion board to post a video or an article or something where you're showing us all a new technique or a skill that relates to woodworking. And then along with that, provide a brief description as to what that technique is called, or how would you utilize it or apply it to a woodworking project. So that's the first discussion board and activity for the week. The next one is your project plan second draft. So last week you submitted the first draft. I gave several of you advice on something that you might want to change or add or edit or whatever it may be. Now you're going to maybe include some of that advice that I provided, as well as just think back to the example project plans that we've had and all the project plans that we've utilized in class. There are a lot of things that maybe we overlook because in our heads we know exactly how that would be created. However, when you put something on paper and provide it to somebody else, your words might mean something different to them. And so it's really important that we outline every single step and provide as much detail as possible when it comes to a project plan. So utilizing maybe the skills or the techniques that you've learned in the videos this week and you're posting in the discussion board, applying that into your project would be a huge bonus. Making sure that you have all the steps outlined, you've determined all the project parts that are needed, the tools that are needed, the materials. Think about all those things that maybe you didn't add before to your project plans that you could include now. So there's lots of things that we can change and then post that in the activity or in the discussion board for the second activity. So that is your project plan second draft. And then what you're going to do for all of you, you're going to be reading over everyone else's project plans. This might inspire you to go back and make some changes eventually to your own. But the idea is that we're going to do a peer review. And so for our third activity, it's kind of a two-parter. It's a submission. It's not going to be a discussion. So we're not going to be replying to the project plans that are submitted in the discussion board. You're going to download the project plans that are submitted on that discussion board. And what I want you to do is I want you to do a peer review, provide feedback for a particular student's project plans, and you're going to submit those in the submission folder for that assignment. And you're going to be doing two of those. So you need to pick at least two different students that you can critique their project plans, provide feedback, good things, bad things, provide it all, and think about it. If you were to go use those plans to create a project, would you be able to create that project? I know that sometimes when we see a picture, we can think of right in our heads how we're going to do something. The TV console project plans that I provided to you a couple weeks back, I actually utilized those plans. But believe it or not, those plans were not perfect when I got them, and so I had to make some changes, some tweaks along the way, and I learned from this. But now it's time for us to learn as a class how do we provide effective feedback for others. And that'll be the third and final activity for the week. And as usual, I am available on Schoology. If you have any questions, send me a message. But I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to provide as far as different techniques in woodworking that maybe we didn't discuss. The drafts that you provide, remember you're revising these from last week, so it shouldn't be the same exact document that you submitted last week. And make sure that your peer reviews are going to be helpful for your classmates. Don't just do it just to do it, but help each other out. Because remember, you could be utilizing these plans later on in your woodworking hobby or careers. As always, I will see you all on Schoology throughout the week, and have a great week.